So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Team Sheet Tantrum. We've had a bit of a tantrum already tonight because Neil is unavailable, and we had Ross from the South African Lions for the last 10 minutes trying to get online. So I'm going to add him now and see if we can hear him. Hello, Ross.
Hey, Paddy, how you doing?
You can hear me?
Slightly, yes. I'm just listening in very, very carefully.
Okay. Well, just in case we start swearing about the sound, you're live already. We're live already because we wasted two.
They'll
How
bear
are
with
you?
us. It's fine.
All good where you are?
Pardon? Oh,
no.
I don't think we're going to get this technical difficulty sorted, Paddy.
Oh, it's typical, isn't it?
Yeah. I hope our performance isn't as poor as this connection.
Do you want to log out and try again?
Yeah, I shall.
Oh, yeah. Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? I hope you can hear me well enough because obviously we've had the problems with Ross. We're here to talk about the match tonight against Leeds, and I hope you're all well and hope you're all warm. It's going to get a bit cold tonight here in Ireland, so we're looking forward to putting the fire on and maybe having a few cold beverages and looking forward to the match. So, funnily enough, we've only just started, but the team is in. So, shall we have a look and see what we have? I think Neil is going to try and join as well. He's under a bit of pressure. We'll try Ross one more time and see if he's there.
Yeah, that one more time worked. Paddy, whatever you did there, buddy, it worked.
Excellent. Good news. Good news. Good news.
We're
So, Ross,
back.
we have the team in, so we're just going to run through it quickly.
Okay.
We've got Martinez in goal. Cash, Konza, Mings and Dean. McGinn, Luis, Ramsey, Buendia, Watkins and Coutinho. I don't think there's anything really to talk about in there, is there? I think that's exactly the team that I spoke to Neil about last night. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's pretty standard. I mean, you can see from that lineup, I think we've got our first 11 rock solid at the moment. It'll be very hard for any of those players to be shaken from their starting berth. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the match. It would be interesting to see what happens, though, when Bailey is fit. It'll be quite nice to see how he slots into the lineup.
Yeah, I kind of had a little thought today that we were going to see Bailey on the bench, and that's what his big announcement was today, but it didn't happen that way. So I'll just run through what we have on the bench. We've got Olsen, Chambers, House, Ashley Young, Ben Criseni, who Neil spoke about last night, Tim Urugbadam, Morgan Sanson, Carney Chukwuemeka, and Danny Ings. So there's a lot of defense. Well, I suppose you could count Ashley Young as defense and attacking. So there's a lot of defense there. Tommy O'Reilly that we spoke about yesterday obviously hasn't made the match day squad, but Ben Criseni in there as a reserve left back. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's funny you mention Tommy O'Reilly because there's quite a lot of hype that's generated about him over the short period of time. To be honest, I haven't even heard of him until yesterday. I had a mate of mine that mentioned him and heard good news about him from the academy. So I'm interested to see what he can perform and bring to the first team, but he's still young. So let's see.
Still a bit of time, yeah. We saw him in all the videos yesterday, so that we presumed he was in the match day squad. So he hasn't quite made it, but look, we've got so much on the bench there. You know, even with the old heads of, would you call Chambers an old head? Ashley Young, Anson, and Courtney House, obviously. So there's plenty there to shake it up. We've got Carney, we've got Danny Ings. So there's a lot going on there. And I think we have another visitor coming here now.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
We got two visitors.
Two visitors. Yeah, so I apologise for any noise in the background.
I love the way you're sitting there with a baby on your lap, and all you're worried about is fixing your hair.
Don't drop the
That's
baby.
ever the professional, Paddy. We're gonna have to move the camera this way. So what's the story? I haven't even seen the team.
So exactly as we thought last night. No changes as such. Watkins, Buendia, and Coutinho as we expected. Tommy O'Reilly didn't make the bench, so we've Olsen, Chambers, House, Young, Crescenti, Young
They seem to
Tim.
be happy with that.
He's delighted.
I think Aaron likes Crescenti because that was on came in. Sanson,
Big
Carney,
extra
and
fan.
Ings.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah,
Sounds like a good team to me. You trying to get on camera?
team,
You're still there. Strong enough team, yeah, and I'd expect that team to do a bit of damage tonight. And I'd expect goals in that team. You know, I've already said a 3-1 Villa win this evening, and I don't see anything different from that team to suggest otherwise. Taddy, who's reffing it?
That's a big talking point tonight. For the very first time, we've got Jared Gillett refereeing the match.
Are you sure it's not Jared Gillet and it's not going to be? It's not Tim Sherwood's alter ego, no?
No, I'm pretty sure that's his name. I did check it out from. He's that guy that did the famous mic'd up Aussie VAR decision about 2 years ago. So he's been introduced to the Premier League, and it's our first time seeing him. I think we did have him as a fourth official earlier in the season, but it's definitely our first time with having him as a referee. So it's nice to know we have an impartial referee because he can referee absolutely everybody's games, which is a first for the Premier League too.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
So I'll just run quickly through the Leeds United team while we have it up there. Melier in goal, Dallas and Ayling at fullback, Strike and Lorente centre halves, Koch, Klitsch, Rodrigo, Harrison, Rafinha, and James in that false nine. We would imagine.
Yeah,
Near enough to what we discussed last night, Neil. What do you think of this Leeds team, Ross?
Well, Leeds are going to be struggling for quite a while because the whole spine of their team is out injured. I know they had a lot of injury issues. So they're weak at the moment. And I mean, their league position kind of shows that as well as their form. So we should be winning this without any doubt.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to agree with you there. The bench is quite inexperienced as well. Klassen, Hilde, Kenne, Shackleton, Forshaw, Bate, McKinstry, Roberts, and Gilhart.
Yeah.
So, a couple of names we haven't. We went through their bench last night from the game before.
Yeah.
We had the same problem or the same issues as well that we didn't recognise the team. But it's not a bad side they have out. There's plenty of people there that could do us damage. It's just how we start, I think, is the most important thing tonight, and how we continue. If we can go for 90 minutes, so I see no reason why we can't put a couple of goals on them tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. You know, getting up to a good start is going to be imperative for this game because we know Bielsa likes to just go gung-ho with this team and throw everybody forward. So getting a good start and scoring a goal early and first will be good. And that's what we're going to need to do if we want to take control of this match. I, for one, think we're going to keep a clean sheet. You know, our defense has been rock solid so far, and Martinez has been doing really well for Argentina. And I feel like Mings, even though his form has dipped in the previous games, he might start coming into himself now. So I feel that we should easily win this 2-0. There will be goals, and I think we should keep a clean sheet.
Well, I admire your optimism. Neil said 3-1 last night, and that's kind of what's been in my head ever since. I think we will concede. I think they've very little to. I think they'll sit deep and try and hit us on the counter attack. I think I saw someone say that as much in the comments there. Was it? Yeah. That's exactly how they'll have set up. They'll be all out defense and then change it into attack when they get the ball. So I think that's what we can expect from them. But I think if we keep them on the back foot from the start, and if we do get ahead, don't sit back. just keep pummeling them as we know we can do with the pressure that we have. So it's gonna be a tough one. I don't think anybody has much love for Leeds. I don't think they're not living rent free in our head as much as we are in theirs with their fans for some reason. So yeah, I'm optimistic that we'll go and at least win this by 2.
Yeah, and also looking at just to go slightly off topic there, looking at our team and bringing in a lot of the youth players, I feel that those loan signings that we've got or that we managed to get rid of, like Trezeguet and El Ghazi, Matt Target, it makes a little bit of a pathway for the youth that we've got at the moment. I mean, we're talking about Ben Chrissy, and he's going to get some experience now with the first team, whether that is being on the bench or maybe even some minutes if he gets ahead of Ashley Young. So we've also got quite a good squad. We've got a strong squad and we have a strong youth. So our loan system has been working out quite well recently. And I'm interested to see just in general how we're going to perform in the second half of the season. I just thought I'd like to add that.
Yeah, I think we're just hoping for a better second half, which is funny because that's what we've kind of said for every game that Steven Gerrard has been involved.
Very inconsistent.
Yeah, if we could just get a performance, and I think that performance is just around the corner. Whether that's tonight or not, I'm not sure. But I think there's going to be a day where we go and we're going to rattle someone by a big score. And we've 4 winnable games coming up. So I imagine that's going to come sometime in the next few games, but we'll just have to wait and see. We might just go through some of the comments while we have them there. John says Rafinha's on fire. Good chance he gets or creates one. We'll win though, and that's exactly how I feel. I still think they have a goal in them no matter what, but I think we'll score more than them. Connor says, really look forward to this one. Going to be a tough one, but I think we can win 2-0 up the Villa from Brazil. Cheers, Connor. Enjoy it. My old mate Dean. Good enough, they're old enough. Gareth Barry was bossing it at 17. Yes, he was, Dean. Absolutely. And I've big hopes for Crescene, and I think they have too. What do you think? Do you think if we were 2 or 3-0 up, that it'd give him a run? Be the right way to
definitely.
go?
Yeah, I think we should do that with all the youth players that we got on the bench at the moment. I mean, Chukwuemeka needs to be getting at least 45 minutes of game time if he needs to be progressing seriously within this squad this season. So he needs to get at least 45 minutes today, irrespective of whether we're winning by a big margin or not. Even if we're drawing, he needs some minutes. As for Ben, definitely agree. My only concern is that Ashley Young might feel a little bit rattled because he didn't join Aston Villa this season to be sitting on the bench or be a figure in the changing rooms. He wants some minutes as well. But yeah, we should be doing that with most of our youth players that have come through. We have to be playing them.
I think the biggest issue we've had them on the bench, and I think you're right. I'd love to see the likes of Carney starting because he's well capable of it. But I think he's probably a victim of the circus that's around him not signing his contract. That could be the case. And we've got to prepare for him not being there. But look, when he comes on and does a job, he absolutely does a job. We don't know the ins and outs of what's going on with his contract. I hope there's a lot more made of it than it actually is, and I hope he does sign a contract. But we may or may not have Philip Coutinho next year, but we may as well use him while we have it. So if we can get a couple of goals ahead, why not take off Coutinho and save him for the next game?
Yeah, Paddy, you've touched on something that I've actually spoke about quite a few times with a lot of my friends and members of the South African Villains. With Carney, it's pretty disappointing that he hasn't agreed to sign this contract. Look, we can only speculate what's gone wrong or what's not going right as to why he's not signing. But he's still young. Being there among the first team is a privilege, and he should be learning from the experienced players like Coutinho, like McGinn. I mean, he's there and he's gaining that experience with the squad. If he leaves Villa, hypothetically, where else can he go to get that sort of environment? Because Aston Villa and our owners are ambitious and they know that they're trying to bring through our youth system to make a better generation for the next players that are coming through. And I like that. It's continuous success that our owners have put in place. And if Carney doesn't want to be a part of that ambition, then who are we to stop him? We should not be begging him. This is the opportunity. This is what he's got here. And it's pretty simple. If he doesn't want to be a part of it, then good luck trying to find somewhere else that's going to be better. It sounds harsh, but we shouldn't be
Yeah.
begging players to stay.
No, well, I agree with you there as well. If he wants to go, so be it. It's time for us to actually do it in the summer and get some money for him. That's the way I look at it. He's a guy with Premier League experience, but if he doesn't want to hang around, let him go and bring someone else through that can. We've spent a lot of money on our academy. We've brought in Mark Harrison, who's done an amazing job. So, by all means, there will be many more like Tommy O'Reilly who can come in and maybe do that job that would come on and replace the likes of Buendia or Coutinho or whoever that may be. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes with contracts and stuff like that. There's a couple of people that still need to be tied down as well. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of that in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. I'll just go through some of the comments here while we have them. Kira from Offaly. Just Kira, nice to have you on. Really looking forward to the game. I think we'll beat them 3-0 for sure. Hopefully. Hooker said, evening lads, good to see you. Now, this one, need to show a ruthless streak in the next few games.
Yeah.
So we 4 winnable.
I agree with Rob because, the next 3 games, I think are bottom 6 clubs after this. If I'm not mistaken, they are they're quite low ranked. So this is the perfect time to start building like some sort of form. This is the time. This next month, we have to start getting good results and winning. Not draws or anything else. We have to be winning and hopefully showing a little bit of quality in our plays as well. Yeah.
Well, I was given a little bit of respect to the opposition when I said that we've got our next 4 games: Leeds, Newcastle, Watford, and Brighton. So
all winnable.
I definitely think we could be taking 4 wins out of that. And then we've Southampton after that, who you would expect to give a decent game as well. Mm-hmm. So, these are the 5 games that we need to go and go on a run. And not only go on a run, lay down a marker, score a few goals in each game. I think that's the next step for this team. And above all else, play for 90 minutes. Because if we play for 90 minutes, there's very few that will have a go off us, I think.
Yeah, exactly. There's one thing that I've been disappointed about during the Steven Gerrard era, and maybe you can even give some perspective of this. I've found that we have been quite inconsistent. It's either we're going to have one good first half or one good second half. We can't seem to see the game out for 90 minutes. And it's a little bit of a scary situation. I was watching the Everton game, and that first half, we absolutely dominated them. We ran them off the pitch. And to be fair, we should have been about 2 or 3 goals up. But that second half, we became a little bit like too relaxed, too calm, and we invited Everton to put some pressure on us. And we shouldn't be having that. We should put the game to bed.
Yeah, absolutely. Ad mentions there similar situation to Russian Hepburn Murphy, and look at that panned out. Absolutely, some good comparison there. Ad Carney should stay put. We absolutely believe. They went and signed his brother. What more can they do for you? Get in there and get the points on the board, and when you get your chance, get some goals. And we'll absolutely.
Well, that's what happened with Jacob Ramsey. He also had a dry spell when he started coming in. He got some minutes under his belt, and he managed to pop up with an assist, some good play, and a goal eventually.
Yeah. Kevin thinks a 4-1. McGinn, Brace, Watkins, and Mings. I'll take that all day long. Dan Lane is in Barcelona. Very welcome. You're not quite the furthest away. I think Ross is the furthest. Oh, we have one in Brazil. Sorry. So, sorry, the comments are just flying by and I've missed some of them. And I know there was a couple of good ones there I meant to go back to. There we go. Neil is to keep quiet because the little one is talking far more sense.
Love it.
We see. Someone thinks we're going to win 5-0. I hope that's not David Batty that's talking there.
I don't think so. I'll take it, but highly unlikely.
Dean says chances need to be going in the onion bag. Absolutely, Dean. We need to be taking our chances. I'd like to see more minutes for Ings up top. Let the others do the holding and creating. Look what he can do if he's gotten a chance. Newcastle and Brentford. Yeah, I'm in the Ings camp as opposed to the Watkins camp. I just don't think he's progressed enough for us. I think Ings is more of a natural born goal scorer. So I'd like to see him get his opportunity. It looks like from the two friendlies we watched, we're going to see Watkins get a chance in the next couple of games, and he's got a couple of games that could potentially boost his confidence. So we'll hang on and see how that pans out over the next few games. But I would definitely play Ings a little bit more often just to see. I suppose like we spoke about it. Myself and Neil spoke about it. There's games that really you need Ings, and for those games, that's when people are playing a high line where he can get in behind and use his pace. Whereas Watkins, while he has the pace, probably doesn't have the finishing ability of a Danny Ings. And, I definitely like to see him getting more time. And I believe he will get more time, absolutely.
Why do you think that Danny Ings hasn't hit the ground running for Villa? Because that's an interesting topic to branch onto.
Yeah, I think he's more just a victim of the system, to be honest. It just hasn't panned out for him. I wonder, is it that he prepares to play with a bigger striker, and that might be, when you look at what he's done over the years, there's always been a bigger striker beside him. And now that he's playing more or less in a lone striker role, the other guys aren't getting close enough to him for him to feed off those little 1-2 passes. And when it has worked well, he has scored. So he's well able to score goals. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So it's hard to say whether it hasn't worked out for him or just that he's a victim of the system. And that's probably how I would see it. Jimmy says you never know which Leeds will turn up. That is exactly the problem all year. You don't know if they're gonna turn up and spank you, or they're gonna turn up and get spanked. So so like a lot of valid comments. We need to start well. I think that's an absolute must against Leeds. If we let them get into it, I think that they'll get ahead and then with no way back into the game, they'll shut up shop. And that's my biggest fear about tonight. So the most important thing is to score early and to keep.
We have to start off well. Have to start well.
Are we anybody else here? Just about to wrap up very shortly. 12 points from 12, I presume, Packy, is what you're saying there?
Yes. Love that optimism.
Martin says spot on. Missed exactly what he was saying 5 minutes ago, but he said spot on, Ross. View from the stands. Up the Villa, very confident tonight. Yes, I'm very confident tonight, but I have been confident in the past. I.e. Man United, both games that we didn't win, albeit we did come back and get a draw on one of them. So confidence means nothing. Depends what the players do on the field, I suppose, when they get out there. What else have we got on here? Both our youthful or wing backs have a first team future. Totally agree, Ad.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Kane, Kessler, Hayden, and Bresson being a part of that for the future, 100%. It's a difficult one, but it's hard for a player that age to come in and make a difference. But we absolutely believe in both of them. I haven't seen as much of Ben Griseni, but the fact that Steven Gerrard can bring him in there and put him in his first team squad on a match day in a big game. Let's face it, this is a huge game for us. We need to get points on the board if we're going to push on anyway into that top half. So I think a win tonight takes us to 10th. If memory serves me correct. I tried to work it out last night. So getting up to 10th I think would be a big deal. And a springboard then to push on into those European places. And we're looking at 4 games that we can win. Even if we just got Conference League, I think it would be massive for the club. So I'm absolutely not giving up on anything just yet. But those 4 games could change all that hope very quickly.
Paddy, if you gave me the Europa Conference League right now, I'll take it. I'll snatch your hand off for that. I personally think we're too far behind to make Europe, and we should just be trying to get a good combination of players that we can identify who we got as our starting lineup with some super subs in for next season. But I don't think we're going to get Europe, man. If we do, I'll be gobsmacked. It's the hope that kills you, isn't that what we always say? We have to hope. If we don't hope, what have we got? Well, why are we here?
We want to finish as high as
But
we
I'm from a
can.
Villa fan. Hope.
Yeah, well, I'm a Villa fan that grew up with us playing in Europe, so I remember what it's like. So it's not that
Mm,
far away. It's not that far away. And if you envisage if you tack on 12 points in these 4 games, then we're seriously in the mix, and people are going to be afraid of us.
yeah.
So all we got to do is do our best, get as many points on the board, and then what will be will be. But just an improvement on last year to stay in the top half and push on
Yeah.
from next year will be great. And anything in Europe will be a bonus, although, as you say, it might be a little bit of a stretch. But you have to dream.
Yeah, for sure. The continuous improvement is what's the goal of the club at the moment. I mean, since we've been in the Premier League, we've just been improving on our positions, improving on our performances. And as you say, it's that hope that kills you. So we might string a couple games together and think we're going to win the league. But we have to keep our feet on the ground and our ambitions realistic.
Absolutely. And I don't think it's unrealistic to finish 8th or
No,
9th. And,
it's not.
at
It's
that stage,
possible.
at that stage, we're only a step away from Europe. So
Mm,
um, we can certainly build from it, depending
yeah.
on the players that can be attracted here. So we absolutely will be in the mix next year, I'm sure. Standing on the word says every man must play, not just 2 or 3. All 11 must play to the last whistle. Last whistle. Our mentality matters, absolutely, and we've got a manager with a strong mentality, which will definitely take us through this. I've no doubt at all. So, anyway, any final thoughts before we wrap it up, Ross?
Yeah. Just hoping for 3 points.
Indeed, the hope that killed you. Told you.
Yeah. On a serious note, though, we played quite well in those behind the closed door friendlies. So I'm interested to see how we're going to perform after our international break, which was quite a long layoff. I mean, we were all lucky that we had some of our players go away for international break with their countries, like Emi, Buendia, um, Coutinho as well. So they'll be in full fitness, and actually getting some minutes for Coutinho with Brazil could be a blessing in disguise. He's going to be back fit and hungry. And yeah, I'm just interested to see how we're going to perform tonight.
Yeah. Oh, well, it will be interesting to see how he performs, especially after all the travel and everything else that's involved. But he's
Mm,
starting.
yeah,
We're paying a lot of money on his wages, so he has to be in there, and he has to be doing a job for us. So
yeah,
we'll go on a stroll down memory lane here, as Jimmy says. I wish we had Carboni. I think that's one of the last times I saw us play Leeds was that FA Cup game in 2000. Leeds have
yeah.
been kind of gone out of the Premier League. I don't think I went to any of the championship games against Leeds, but yeah, that Carboni hat trick against Leeds, and
Mm.
I was behind the goal, and Paul Merson walking around with blood streaming everywhere. Yeah, good memories.
More of the same tonight, please.
More of the same. Yeah, we'll take a 3-2. I'll take any kind of win tonight, and I'll take any kind of win in the next 4 games. So, Ross, it's been great having you. Good to have you back. It's good to have you on with me, because I talked you into coming on the first time, and then I couldn't be on myself.
Yes.
So it's good to come on and have a chat. We'll have you on again sometime soon, no doubt. And if you want to tell the guys where to find the South African Lions for those that were tuning in.
Yeah, so we have got an Instagram page. It's Villains South Africa, and on Facebook it is Aston Villa Fans South Africa. So you can go and give us a like and a follow, and we're always active and open for new members.
Excellent. Great stuff. So we'll wrap it up there, guys. Go and get yourself comfortable for the game. Get your beverage of choice. If you're in the stadium, I hope you're wrapped up well. It looks like it's going to be a cold one.
Yeah.
The only cold one I'm going to see tonight is the one I pulled out of the fridge in about 10 minutes' time. So the fire is on. The television is on. We're ready to go. Enjoy your night. Hopefully we get 3 points. And all I left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa!